Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please make sure you hit the like button here on this stream to help show YouTube that you are liking the content here so it can kind of share that out to more people. But if you're not familiar with how these streams usually go, essentially, if you have any questions, comments, things you want to hear about, please feel free to leave it in the live chat. Happy to answer all questions, and in previous streams we've been able to touch on just about every question. So again, if you're new here, please feel free to say hi in the chat. Always looking to see new names. But do appreciate everybody for jumping in. It looks like we already have 4 people here in the stream, so thank you so much for joining. But yeah, just starting us off here, looking at the coin heat map, it does look like we have had quite a bit of dropping over the last few days across many cryptocurrencies, in price in general. Hamza, nice to see you here. Welcome. I know you're a regular here on some of the streams, so again, I know you're familiar with it, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. But yeah, overall, we're seeing a little bit more green over the last day or so here, but crypto prices have fallen off and have continued to fall more and more. Now, a lot of concern, around specific coins, Terra Classic, the Luna, bankruptcy, that's a big one, but, I think a lot of the attention is being focused here on Bitcoin, the ETF, and was the ETF really something helpful for Bitcoin? And kind of from what I've seen, a lot of people don't think that the ETF was very helpful and is actually responsible for a lot of this downturn. And really what people are thinking is the reason is because, investing in cryptocurrency can be pretty risky. There's additional risk in just having cryptocurrency that you don't get when you go and get something like an ETF. The main thing there is you're not really in charge of your keys, securing the assets, stuff like that. That's passed off onto the brokerage. All you have to do, it's like buying a normal stock. So, I would think most people have, at least some type of stock, whether it's a retirement account or something. So they're already familiar with that. So a lot of people think that people are leaving Bitcoin, pure Bitcoin cryptocurrency and just going and rebuying back in with that same money, but in the ETF to reduce their risk. That's definitely something that I think is a very big possibility. But Hamza, you said, do you think Bitcoin will further drop to 36K and then will it go up again? Your thoughts? Yeah, taking a look here, let's open up TradingView just to get a little bit more of a detailed chart, and we can definitely talk about that because, yeah, I think there is a potential that we see Bitcoin drop a little bit more. I, of course, don't want to see that, but you specifically called out 36K. Now, I think I can see why you were calling out that $35,500 range, because that seems to be our last, kind of floor where, we tested this price range back in the middle of November for 2 or 3 days, it looks like, and then a couple days later, yet again, 2 or 3 days. Now, we seem to be stuck between that 35.5 range and roughly 38,000 for what seems to be, from the 9th of November up to we finally broke out on the 1st of December. So, the better part of a month, kind of bouncing in between those two ranges. So, I think what we would see first is if Bitcoin gets down to right around $38,000. Now, if it gets through 38,000, kind of drops into the 37,000 range, I do think we will see a $36,000 Bitcoin before we see an increase. Now, it seems as though Bitcoin has kind of found this floor, support, whatever you want to call it, right around the 39,500 mark. You can see that was a day, kind of back before what is, the current spike, I would say. That was back on December 3rd. We broke through that range and haven't come near it since. based off kind of what I'm seeing here, this area, the 41,000, we did break through that, and we've seen a decline back to this area here, which seems to be forming a little bit of resistance. So that's good. Right now, I think based off this chart, we're probably going to stay around the 39,000 mark for a little bit of time, and then this is even closer to 40,000. So I wouldn't be too concerned unless we start seeing it drop closer to 38,000. If we do see 38, then yes, I do think we will see 36, 35 before we kind of jump back up. And really, as we've talked about previous streams, I don't think that this little pullback, regardless of what's causing it, whether it be the ETF or just in general, crypto people selling off or, whatever it might be, I don't think this is anything to be concerned about. We've been hearing a lot about, is the next bull market going to be here? Bitcoin, new all-time highs, things like that. Is this coming, and when? Well, I do still think that it is coming, but usually we don't see major price gains in Bitcoin during a halving until 6 to 8 months after. So, if we switch over to CoinMarketCap here and take a look at the latest, calculator, they say it's about 82 days away. So that's going to be, sometime in April. After April, I really don't think we're going to see any major price movements. Now, we might see slower gains, trending upwards, but I don't think we're going to see new all-time highs until the end of 2024 or even into, kind of this time 2025. And I think that's completely normal because when you look at, the previous markets, Bitcoin halved in 2020. I think it was, kind of the same time frame, April, May 2020. As you can see, that time frame in May, Bitcoin was only $10,000. Now, of course, yes, later that year, we start to see it kind of break out and reach what was its previous all-time high from 2017, 2018 time frame of 20,000, but that was in November. So using a similar kind of just lifting it up and putting those same kind of dates on this year's halving, yeah, I think we're going to see a halving in, April, May timeframe, just depending on the blockchain. But I don't think we're going to see, all-time highs being broken until November, December, early January. So we still have, 10 months, I would say, before we could see Bitcoin get closer to that $60,000 range. So really, this drop from 45,000, wherever it was, 48,000, down to 39,000, not really concerning. And even if you do look, that switched back to the S&P. Low roller, nice to see you here. I'll take a look at your comment here in just a second. But finishing this thought here, if you take a look back at let me see here, the 2020 kind of time frame of when Bitcoin halved, and I don't have the exact date, but I know it was around this March, April, May time frame. You can see that there was actually a drop-off here in March from, right around, what are we looking at? This is Ethereum, my bad. I was going to say, this chart looks a little weird. Yeah, so there was this drop-off in March from, right around 10,301 all the way down to 4,929. And again, this is just kind of rough numbers, but you get the idea. So it dropped over 50% in a month. Little less than a month, little over a month. So, I don't think that was anything too concerning. Of course, at the time, you don't want to see Bitcoin lose half its value, and I don't think Bitcoin's going to lose half its value right now, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it did in the future. So kind of bounced back up to that same range of the 10, 11,000, and then we started to see little bits of gains, but it really didn't start to take off again till November. So 6, 7, 8 months later. So point is, I don't think this little dip here is too much to be concerned about. But I do think that if we break through this, $38,000, what seems to be a support here, we are going to see 36,000, 35,000. And, if we do break through that 33,000, I do think it's possible that we could be getting back down towards 25 to 24,000, which then again would be close to about half its value, which we've seen before. So either way, what I would recommend, continue using faucets, continue investing, continue doing whatever you do with crypto. Just don't be too afraid of these little drops here and there. Using faucets right now, you're collecting more crypto per click. If you're investing, you're getting more crypto per dollar that you put in. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing more surveys, you're getting more crypto. It's just a better time to continue collecting. And if you really do believe in crypto and you are okay and can hold on to it, I think that's going to be the move going forward. But low roller, nice to see you here. But you said Bitcoin having have a pullback like 25%. Yeah, so it has gone back. I know you joined a little bit later after we started the stream, but essentially, I think you heard the tail end of it there. Nothing too concerning here. Yes, we did pull back a little bit. Hamza asked if we could, maybe if I thought it was going to go back to 36,000. Short answer, not at the moment, but if we do break through that 38,000 range kind of support, then yes, I do think 36,000 will be seen. But, again, this 25% pullback, I think, nothing too concerning. Lower, you said Grayscale and Bitcoin miners are selling their Bitcoin. Yes. I think with the ETF, another thing I was saying kind of before you joined is, the ETF provides a lot more security for investors compared to just purchasing Bitcoin up front. You're taking the risk of, you having to manage the private keys, you having to manage wherever the crypto is stored, to just going out and purchasing an ETF, which has been around for many, many decades now, and people know how to do it. It's easy. You're passing the risk off to someone else. So, if you're not really truly into crypto, but you like to have some because it's a good investment, it makes more sense for people like that to go ahead and cash out of Bitcoin and go buy the ETF because it's more secure. Would I recommend you do that? No. But that's, I think, a big thing that we are seeing right now. So, it is what it is. A lot of people seem to think that the ETF was, ultimately not a great thing for Bitcoin, but again, it's still very, very new. We talked about it last week, but this week is really the first full week of trading where the U.S. stock market is open all 5 days of the week, because the first week that it was live, it got live on Thursday. We had a holiday after that, and now, week 3 here is the first full week. Now, it's not really going too crazy, but it's also not going up or down in a crazy way. So if we, let me refresh. I was going to pull up the chart for it here. Let's see. iShares Bitcoin Trust. This is just the largest one, this being the BlackRock one. But if we take a look, probably 1 hour will be fine. So this is going back to the 11th. Yes. I feel like there should be more candles, but I did 1 hour. So we could, I don't know. I don't know what the chart, that should be more candles, I would think. But anyway, as you can see, it has come down. It spiked up really quickly when it first opened. Most people were excited about it. It kind of crashed back down afterwards, but there have been 4 green days here out of 6. So, it is what it is. But overall, I think we're going to, still see some positive effects from this as, people warm up to it. Maybe we start to see Bitcoin get closer to that halving. We start to see Bitcoin on the news more often. More people hearing about it again and then realizing that it's easier than ever to get, meaning people go out and buy this ETF, meaning BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, all of the big, investment firms, they go ahead and then purchase more Bitcoin because people are buying their ETFs. So I do still think there's hope, but in the immediate term, I do think that the ETF has kind of hurt the price of Bitcoin a little bit. Lowroll, you said, great time mining Doge on Mars. It's cheaper. You can finally reach 100 million coins. Yeah, I'm still going on XRP for the time being. XRP's dropped off quite a bit. I mean, nothing crazy when you look at, dollars compared to, Bitcoin, but it is down to about 51 cents, which is 5 to 8 cents lower than where it normally, seems to be for the last few months. But again, I still think that this has a really, really good potential, to at least stay in this price range, at the very least. But, with that being said, of course, it can always go down. We looked at it last week. It's been in the top 10 for many, many years now, which is pretty rare. You don't see a lot of coins stick around the top 10 for a while, especially multiple years like XRP. It's gone through multiple bull runs, and it's still here, still going, and I think it's got a lot of potential for the next bull run. So that's kind of why I'm still focusing on that coin for the time being. Lowroll, you said Doge on Mars market cap of $88 million. It's possible it could reach $8 billion in the bull run. That's a 100x on your money. That would be pretty awesome. I think it would. I think that's very possible, and I think that's a very conservative estimate, which I think is good, because the issue with a lot of crypto is you see these crazy price predictions for coins. I like Terra Luna, I've seen like, oh, it could reach $1. Well, if you look at Terra, if it was really $1, that means the market cap is like $6 or $7 trillion, whatever their circulating supply is times 1. And that's just crazy. Not even really possible. I might have scrolled past it, but $8 billion, that's up there. Looking at that would put it in with the current market caps. Obviously the next bull run, all these coins in theory will have much higher values, meaning their market cap would be higher. But right now, 8 billion would put it right around 12th to 13th place. Do I think that's possible at the moment? No. We'd have to be in a bull run, like you said. But no, I do think that is a potential. Looking at Shiba with a 5 billion market cap, in that case, I'd hope that Shiba was significantly higher than 8 billion. I don't know if it would happen like that, but I would have to think that Shiba's more popular in the bull run. If we're starting to see meme coins like Doge on Mars go up like that, with really good values, I think we would see Shiba much higher, maybe 15, 16 to, maybe even 20 billion market cap for Shiba. So, something to keep in mind. But no, I don't think that's the worst prediction. But, I'm happy with the amount of coins that I have right now. We'll just, like I said, have to wait and see what happens with it. And, if it goes up $8 billion, market cap, I think that's great. And I certainly hope you have a lot more than I do, so that you you make a lot more. But Lowroll, you said crypto is no longer following the stock market this month. No, that's a really good observation. Looking at the at least the iShares trust here, and really just crypto prices in general. Tech has done extremely well yet again. A lot of AI craze with some of the big tech companies, but the iShares, it's been red most days. Tuesday this week it was up a little bit, Friday last week it was up a little bit, but not huge price drops. We're talking it's opening here at about $23.21 and closing at $22.76. So 50-cent drop, but when it's only $22, that is quite a bit. So it is what it is. I'm a little surprised that it didn't follow the market a little closer, but hey, it's something new. It was just a prediction. I think, like I said, we still have a lot of trading days left this year, especially with the halving coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if we do start to see this trending back towards the $30 mark. which of course then, you know, we would hope that Bitcoin is mirroring that. It's seeing $50,000-$60,000, you know, across the board. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens to this chart specifically here when Bitcoin is doing really well. Because since this came out, Bitcoin has fallen just about every day. And, you know, if Bitcoin went from, you know, its current price here, $39,200 or $39,940, and tomorrow we woke up and it was $45,000 again, what would the ETF be doing? You know, I would think that it would definitely be green, you know, going up. But who knows? You know, maybe they're not tied that closely. But hey, you know, like I said, it's a good time to be collecting more coins, faucets, cloud mining, stuff like that. Take advantage of these prices when they're low, because I do really think that they are not going to be this low for a while. So let's see. Low roll, you said, how many XRP are you mining per day? I think it is like 7. Let me go to Unminable, because I know they have a calculator. Let's see here. Ripple. And we are mining on Kapow. Make sure we get the right algorithm. Kapow. And I have about 220 mega hashes. So yeah, about 6.79 on Kapow per day, or about 203 per month, which if we quickly take the calculator, and I'll just use 51 cents, so 6.79 times 0.51 is about $3.46 at today's current prices. Now, I do think that XRP at a minimum will hit that $1.50 range that we saw in the last bull market. So, you know, if you're looking at that, you know, at a 6.79 times 1, you know, 150, about $10 a day. You know, with the current. Now, would I be still mining 6 coins a day when it was, you know, $1.50? I don't know. But looking back on it, you would have been making $10.18 per day. So, you know, hopefully that helps a little bit. But, yeah, and I mean, I guess just for fun, we could take a look at the Dogecoin Mars here as well. Because I know we were just talking about that. Let's see, it is on Kapow, 220. So that is about 22.8 million per day. You know, 68 million a month. So yeah, you could pretty easily get to 100 million in about a month and a couple weeks of mining. But like I said, I'm happy with the amount that I have for the time being, and can always switch back over at a later time. Low roll, you said a lot of new people have invested, a lot of new people most likely investing in meme coins. Yeah, you know, I think there are. Yes and no, I would say. You know, I think people, some of like the kind of like Wall Street bets or Satoshi Street bets, kind of those Reddit pages, that group of people, yes. But, you know, I think the more serious investors who are actually out there, you know, that understand investing, I don't think are going, you know, more beyond Dogecoin. You know, yeah, Dogecoin I would say is definitely a meme coin, but it's a little bit more proven, and it was, you know, what I would say the first meme coin. You know, I wouldn't think that a lot of people are, you know, making their first jump into crypto on a meme coin. Now, of course, you know, a couple years ago, that would have been pretty true, as Dogecoin was doing so well. And then, you know, I think the people who were experienced with crypto, even if it was just Dogecoin, were then jumping into some of the smaller coins like Shiba and possibly Dogecoin Mars, stuff like that. But beyond that, I really don't think there were a ton of people, you know, diving right into those coins. And who knows, you know, I could be wrong. But you know, it is what it is. Lower, you said, I wish more people in the chat. Yeah, you know, sometimes it seems like we have a lot of people in the chats and others we don't. You know, the YouTube channel as a channel seems to still be trending in growth. You know, the live streams actually are one of the, you know, types of content that actually get the least amount of views and engagement here on the channel. You know, the YouTube shorts hit or miss. They were doing really well, and now it seems to be, you know, maybe I get 2 or 3 a week that do really good. YouTube, the regular YouTube videos, the long format, those I would say are about on par. Certain videos get a lot more views, just depending on what's trending in crypto, but yeah, it seems to be a struggle to get people to join here in the live streams. You know, it is what it is, but hopefully as the subscribers continue to go up, more people will join in here on the live streams. Low Roller said this bear market wasn't worse than the last bull run. This altcoin in bear market, they are stronger this time. So, okay, so you're thinking that, yeah, the altcoins are going to be a little bit stronger this time. So, yeah, you know, I think we do have the potential to see a stronger bull run. You know, I think a lot of people focus on Bitcoin, you know, because it's pretty easy to have an educated guess of where Bitcoin's going to go. And after the last bull run, it's a lot harder to predict where coins are going to go. You know, using XRP as an example, a very old, well-proven coin, you know, it did not come anywhere near its previous all-time high. It was about half off of that. So, you know, it in 2018 hit $3.11, and in 2021 here, it was only $1.83. So, you know, we were over $1 away from its all-time high. You know, so that makes it much harder to predict where it will go. I do think that we can easily get back to that $1.50, $1.80 range. I do think we could see $3 again here with XRP, but I don't know if that will happen. So, you know, hopefully we do see a stronger altcoin market. You know, I think that's where a lot of people could make a lot more money, because, yeah, you know, I think there are a lot of people out there that are investing in altcoins that are not necessarily considered meme coins. You know, the Solana, the XRP, the Binance coin, you know, those well-known coins that aren't, you know, small or jokes or anything like that, that have real use cases, but just aren't, you know, Bitcoin or Ethereum. So it'll be interesting to see. But, you know, again, I think we've still got a while to go, you know, at least another 10 months before I would say we would start seeing, you know, Bitcoin getting closer to its all-time high. All right, had to take a drink there real quick, but let's see here. So Low Roy said, hoping the new people investing in meme coin, the rest of the meme coins go up crazy. Doge on Mars will explode since it's, yeah. You know, I think that is very possible. You know, I think we could see another kind of meme coin craze. You know, I think for that to work out really well, what you would need to see is something like a Wall Street Bets or a Satoshi Street Bets, you know, kind of post going, what I would say is viral on the site, where a lot of people are focusing on it. A lot of people are saying, you know, let's all get in on this, you know, similar to GameStop. Really, without that, I don't think we would see something as crazy as what we saw with Dogecoin. You know, and unfortunately, I think that's just kind of how Dogecoin got as high as it did the last time, was there was a big community behind it that pushed it all the way up like that. So I think it could very easily happen again, and I think that would be one of the key indicators. You know, as we get closer to the bull market, you know, it's probably a good idea to keep an eye on sites like those. And, you know, if you see coins that you really think are gonna go up start showing up in a lot of posts there, you know, it might be time to buy some more. Because, you know, I really think a lot of people underestimated the power of groups like those, and we saw what it did in both crypto and in the regular stock market, which, you know, arguably is more impressive. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but, you know, I do think we could see a lot more people coming into investing and, you know, kind of trying to get those lucky coins where, yeah, I threw $20 at it and it could 100x by going to $8 billion market cap. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see, low roll, you said the last bear market in 2018, Bitcoin dominance was 80%. Bitcoin only dominated at 56 as peak. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison here as well. Let's see, dominance is up here. Bitcoin's only, right now at 54%. Now, I don't think that dominance is, necessarily the best predictor of what the coin market cap and bull run and, kind of all those prices will look like. Because really, when you think about it, in 2018, there were not that many coins compared to today. And actually, let's see if coin market history, if it tells me what the, let's just see, 2018. It was early 2018. So we'll just go like February 14th or January 14th. Let's see. I was hoping it would show me how many coins there were, but unfortunately it just shows the current amount of cryptos. So really, when you think about it, where I was going with this is when you look at the 2018 coin market cap, how many coins were really out there compared to today with over 2 million coins? That's a significant amount more. I don't know how many coins were out there in 2018. It wasn't 2 million. I can pretty much guarantee that. That was really before we got a lot of popularity behind smart chains that are easy to create new cryptos. That was before NFTs. That was before, a lot of these, similar to Ethereum type networks, Web 3.0, Solana, things like that. And now we have all these extra coins that money is kind of spread apart, from Bitcoin. Yeah, dominance. Bitcoin dominated 80% of the market, but when you look at how many more coins there are today, I would say, without actually doing the math, 50.4% might be more impressive than it was in, 2018 with however many coins there were. If you can dominate over half the market with 2 million coins, is that as impressive as dominating 80% with, I'll say, 100,000 coins? I don't know if that's the actual number, but, low roller, I see you say 20,000 coins. That's even better. If Bitcoin's dominating at over 50% with 2 million coins, then, you're out here looking at not even in the same ballpark comparison to a 20,000 coin market with 80% dominance. So, it's something you can think about. I think dominance is a good thing to look at, but it's not necessarily easy to compare today to what it used to be. So, something to think about. But low roller, you said if the coin is in the top 20, if they don't have a community, the coin will die. Yeah, community around the coins is definitely a very, very important part, regardless of how good of a use case the coin has. If there isn't a community, then unfortunately it's not going to do great. And I really do think that a great example of that is Space Coin, which goes along with the Duchy Auto Faucet or Final Auto Faucet, kind of their staking coin. This coin has a really, really good use case. It's a great faucet with tons of ways to earn, and they have their own coin, Space Coin, and they give you bonuses for holding it in addition to the staking. If you're really, going out there trying to use the faucet, holding this coin can make your profits go up significantly faster than they would without it. And unfortunately, I don't really understand why the coin hasn't done much better. I know there's a pretty high circulating supply compared to some coins. Compared to others, it's pretty low. But, and I see half the reporting here on CoinMarketCap isn't correct, but, the faucet just hit over 1 million users. So, there's 1 million people signed up on the site. Say they have, 20% of that million using it daily or, fairly active. So 200,000 people, that's something, but it's not, I'm trying to think if 200,000 was correct. Yeah, it was. 200,000 people, say, only 20% of that, yeah, I don't know what that is, but again, only 20% of 200,000 uses space token, or, you could even say 1% of 200,000 uses space token, just as an example. But, unfortunately, I don't think they promote it enough, and, there is a small community, as you can see here on CoinMarketCap, but nothing crazy. So, Low Roller, I see, said maybe they don't have an exchange. They are on a number of swaps here. I know that PancakeSwap seems to be their most popular, with 40% of the volume. Now, of course, the volume is not much either. But, they are, in my opinion, listed on a good number of swaps. They support 4 chains now. Binance and Matic are the main 2. I think they have, I know they have 2 others. I just don't know what they are because I don't use them. But yeah, it looks like they're listed here on 2, 3, 4, 5 exchanges with a couple different pairs. And I do know that you can trade directly into Matic on the Matic chains. So this, I don't even know if I'd trust this, just because I do see that some of this is yeah, so here it is, Avalanche and Phantom chains as well. So if we switch over, that brought up the Polygon chain. I was hoping it would show me the other contracts here, but either way, I think they, well, you say no major exchange, Low Roller. I would say PancakeSwap is pretty big. They've got 122 million in volume. Nothing insane, and that's on just Binance, of course. But they're pretty big. It's not on like a Gemini or a trying to think like a Binance or something like that. They're just on the chains, but it is what it is. I think there's a lot of use case in there, but unfortunately, it's just not kind of going up. You said a lot of people don't like to do Uniswap since it's a hassle. I 100% agree with you. I really do not like the smart chains, whether it's Ethereum or Binance, Matic. It is a hassle. I 100% agree with you. So, maybe you are onto something there with, it not being on like a Binance exchange or a Gemini exchange, something like that. It's very possible that it's just too much work for new people to get into, or they just don't want to deal with getting into it. So, good point. But hey, we'll have to see what happens with it. Like I said, this has a really good use case for a smaller coin that I would say doesn't have a chance of being top 100, but still wants to be, a cryptocurrency. Because, back in the 2017, 2018 timeframe, there were a lot of coins out there that were just staking coins. They were on what at the time was pretty big exchanges. You staked them, you did masternodes, but they never really had a use case. And I think that's really what sets coins apart, is a good use case with a good community. If you don't have both of those, you're not going to really go anywhere. So, we'll see. But Lower, said at least Dogecoin is easy since it's just a copy your Dogecoin address. Yeah, I really do think that the traditional blockchain cryptocurrencies, whether it's a Bitcoin or a Dogecoin or a Litecoin, whatever type of chain, even Ethereum, what was before all like the really smart contracts and stuff like that, much easier to use. You put in your address, put in the amount you want to send, it tells you what your fee is, and you hit send. It's that simple. You don't have to worry about setting up MetaMask and then adding the chain and adding the coin to the chain and all of that. So I can definitely agree with you, Low Roller. It is much more of a hassle, but it is what it is. It is a much easier way of creating cryptos, and it made coins like Spacecoin possible. The people that made it, it's much easier to make. So overall, I think that's definitely a good theory, but we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens with it here in the future. And I didn't like MetaMask stuff. Yeah, I really don't either. The only coin I use MetaMask for is Spacecoin, and I didn't really want to in the beginning, and it does have a lot of good bonuses on the site, and once you figure it out, it's not too hard, but it is that initial figuring it out that I think deters a lot of people from getting into coins like this. So overall, we'll have to wait and see where it gets in the next bull run, but it does look like we have 4 people here in the stream, so thank you so much for joining. To everybody who is here, probably going to get ready to wind down on the stream here in just a little bit, but if there is any questions, comments, the things you want to hear about related to crypto, the bull run, you know, ETFs, stuff like that, please feel free to leave a chat in the live comment section. Happy to try and address all comments, but again, probably going to get ready to wrap up here in just a few minutes. So overall, you know, kind of recapping here. Oh, look at that. We're seeing a lot more green all of a sudden. This was much more red when we started the stream, but you know, crypto's fallen just a little bit, but nothing too concerning. You know, I think as we continue to see the ETF trade, we might start to see a little bit of a turnaround in crypto, as we are apparently seeing right now, with a little bit more green than at least when we started. Nothing crazy. 0.04% is not much, but better than red. So you asked how is Fire Faucet now? Did they add new coins? I don't believe they've added new coins, but the site is still really good. They are paying, I think there's 12 or 13 coins. They're pretty mainstream coins, I would say. But no, they're paying really well. Their leveling system is good. You know, I think they're a great site. If you're, you know, into the auto faucet type of sites, that's a great one to have because it's very simple. You know, the auto faucet, Dutchy, Final Auto Faucet, whatever you want to call it, that's a great site with a lot of ways to earn, but it can also be kind of confusing at the start because there are so many different ways that you can go. Whereas with a site like Fire Faucet, you use the site, you level up, you earn crypto. It's really that simple. You know, they do have a few different ways to earn the Fire Faucet tokens, but I think they do a much better job at presenting those to you. But yeah, no, overall, still a really good site. I believe the link to Fire Faucet's actually in the description of the stream, so if you are interested in checking it out, it's a great site. Do highly recommend. But Low Roller IC, do you ask, am I using Rollercoin? Yes, still using Rollercoin. Actually just recently uploaded a video about the merge and kind of different ways to earn and build your farm up over there. Would recommend checking that out. But yep, still using them. I am currently still waiting for a payout. They apparently updated their payment policies, so hopefully they are still paying. It's been a little while, but it does say on the withdraw page that it can take 7 to 10 business days, because I do believe their withdrawal process is manual, which I do remember from the last time I withdrew. So hopefully they do pay out. Probably give it another few days, since it's only been, you know, maybe 5 days since I started the withdraw. But if they don't pay out, I will make an update video here on the channel. But overall, you know, I'm not too worried. They're a pretty large site with a lot of users, so I don't think they'd stop paying. But Low Roller said, can you use Rollercoin without investing money? Absolutely. You can. It is going to be a little bit slower because, you know, usually with a site like that, to, you know, level up and build your farm quicker, you do have to invest, but you can absolutely do it without investing. They have a lot of tasks available. They added a task wall, so you can do surveys. Loot TV is a part of it. And then, of course, there's the games that you can play to earn speed and stuff like that. With the addition of the task wall, it is much easier to get an account built up on the site without investing. But yep, it is 100% free. It in the beginning would essentially just be like a faucet till you can get a few miners, and then, you know, your miners will start earning you money 24/7, and then you can continue using it as, you know, a faucet when you have the time. But yep, you do not have to invest to use Rollercoin. And again, if you are not familiar with Rollercoin, I do have a few videos on the channel about it. If you just go to Bitcoin Tips and search the channel, you know, both kind of an intro overview of the site, as well as the one I just recently did this past week, talking about some of the best strategies to kind of grow your farm quicker than just, you know, going out and playing the games and collecting the speed and stuff like that. Had to take another drink there, but Low Roller said, can you farm your smartphone by mining Hideout to earn crypto? If I'm understanding your question correctly, you're asking if you can use your smartphone to use Hideout TV to earn points. If that's the question, then yes, you can use for Hideout TV and Loot TV. They are really just websites. They're not using any CPU power beyond what a normal website would, going to YouTube or whatever. They're not mining, they're just watching videos. So you can watch them on any device that connects to the internet that's, I will say, updated enough to be secure, because I do know that older devices we're starting to see some of them not be able to sign on to websites because their certificate is invalid. It does have to be a halfway decent device to connect to the internet, but as long as you have a browser, you can watch Loot TV, Hideout TV on your phone, on your tablet, laptop, desktop, Windows, Mac, Linux, iPhone, Android, whatever it might be. It will work. You just go to it in your browser like you normally would, sign into your account, and set it and let it go. And then, when it comes time to convert over, you can do that all from your phone as well. Lower, so you can run 8 smartphone Hideout TVs to earn crypto. I've seen people do it. Yeah, I've seen kind of phone farms like that. Where you're going to run into problems with Loot TV and Hideout TV, you may get kicked off or not earn any crypto on 7 of those phones if you're using the same IP address. So if you connect it all to your home Wi-Fi, I would be surprised if more than 1 or 2 of those phones made any actual points, because I'm guessing they don't like that. Now, if you had 5, or in this case 8 different phone plans, SIM cards and all, then yeah, I think you'd be fine. But then again, you're paying for 8 phone plans, so is it really worth it? Now, I've never tried it, so maybe that's not how it works, but I'd be pretty surprised if they'd let you earn that much from, just having additional phones. Because then, yeah, you could go out to some like eBay or Facebook Marketplace and find $10, $15 Android phones and set up a phone farm pretty easily. But hey, if you get it to work, great. I have not, but I haven't tried, so definitely an interesting strategy there. But awesome. Well, again, I do want to say thank you to everybody who did join in. It looks like we do still have 4 people currently. So thank you so much for watching the stream. Hopefully you found it helpful. If there is anything that you think of after the fact, feel free to leave a comment here on any of the videos on the channel. Happy to address those. YouTube does kind of just show them right on the dashboard, so whether it's this stream or any of the other latest videos, feel free to leave a comment. And Lower, he said you should test a smartphone farm. Yeah, we'll see. I'll look into it a little bit more. I'd have to get all the phones, because I do know that you can use a smartphone. That I'm 100% confident of, to do Loot TV, Hideout TV, and such. But I have seen other YouTubers that are mining, like actually mining on phones. But again, maybe I'll look into it a little bit, but I don't have any plans at the moment to kind of get into the smartphone farming side of crypto at this time. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do some research, and maybe it's a little bit more profitable than I think it is. But well, thanks again for joining. Low Roller, it looks like you were most active in the chat again. I don't know if Hamza left after his comment, but again, appreciate your support, Low Roller. Always nice to kind of talk about what's going on in crypto, and hopefully we can start to get some more people here in the streams. But yep, bye. Have a nice evening, and we'll probably be back here on the stream next week. Thanks for joining.